This video is going to be the seventh in my series, my journey building Geekster. This video I want to talk about the strategies that I used when I was using generative AI, and I'd like to share what I think works best. So I use four generative AI tools. So I use Cloud, I use ChatGPT, I use DeepSeek, I use what's the other one? Gemini. In this order, I love Cloud, followed by Gemini. The third one is ChatGPT, and the last one is DeepSeek. There is no love or hate between these four, but hear me out. So the reason why Cloud is the first and Gemini is the second, subsequently ChatGPT, then DeepSeek is. So Cloud, in terms of maintaining your context window, like the memory when you're working on something, is really good. Gemini, I think from my experience, it's proven it's also really good. And the reason why I use all four is when I was starting out, I had an issue where I would, ask or prompt generative AI to give me a solution for a very complex problem. But what I then learned is, as I was building Kickstarter, I figured, you know what, I have a three-tier app where I have a front end, a business layer, and a back end, and the problems that I'm trying to solve and integrate together, like trying to fix why this is not doing X, Y, Z. If you ask Gen AI to solve that problem for you, it's going to, go on a tangent and try to give you the whole solution. So what I then did is, for a very small problem, so for example, let's say I'm trying to work on the fast API backend code where I can integrate with Cloudflare S3 backend for storage. You don't ask it to give you the whole solution. You sort of ask it to give you a function that can do upload, that can do download, that sort of thing. So in a way, you are helping it because you are asking the right question. So what I do is, on Cloud, I ensure that I have specific chat windows which I will then use as my context window. So for example, let's say I'm trying to solve a problem where I have to upload to Cloudflare R3, right? The R3 storage. I don't add any prompts to do with, for example, trying to integrate with Stripe, because I need to then go back again if I want to improve that that functionality that it gave me before. I then have to go under that chat window. So what I do is, on Cloud, I'm starring, like saving it to memory per window. So these are my context windows. So in a way, let's say Cloud is not really giving me the right solution. I then take part of the problem in my code. There's a bug. I then take it to DeepSeek or ChatGPT. Then on ChatGPT, I just ask that specific problem, and when it gives me an answer, I'll then bring it back, test it out on my code, and if it works, I then bring it to Cloud. I don't know if you follow it. Then within the same context window, I then bring it to Cloud and say, okay, look, this solves my problem. I think we are ready to go to the next step of the same problem within the same context window. I hope you're following. Okay, let me stop for now. Then I'll continue to share the tips that I have, like, fixing your prompts. Be intentional. Ask the right questions. Use your brain. Critical, I have critical thinking skills. That's not what we say in the interviews, but test yourself. When you're asking ChatGPT or Cloud, ask yourself, is this critical thinking? And the other thing is, learn as you go. Don't over-engineer. Don't listen to your ChatGPT or your Cloud when it says, should I continue giving you this? So in a way, you have to understand that there are trade-offs when you're building software. You can't scale now. You're still trying to get customers. You're still trying to solve a lot of problems. So if you get something working, as long as it's working as expected, I know it can be improved. Like when you want to refactor and make the code less duplicated, create modules there, no, that's not the time. Build something, make it work, then you can refactor as you go. Okay, I'll continue to share my tips on how I'm leveraging AI to actually help me, especially with the way that I'm using all four of the popular generative AI tools.